The Redmi Note 13 is one of those great value smartphones which can be afforded by almost anyone, given its $160 asking price. If you are coming from the Redmi Note 12 and you are considering switching to this phone, you are going to want to watch to the end to see what is good and bad about this phone. But before I continue, I need you to smash that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. In terms of the unboxing experience, Redmi is still filled with accessories as usual. You get a bunch of startup guides, a TPU case, a SIM ejector tool, a USB-C cable and a charging brick. But you get surprised when you look at design, because it's definitely a step up from the Redmi Note 12. The camera island seems to be gone, and the third camera lens is shifted further away from the flash, which does look better. The build is surprisingly sturdy for plastic and feels bold whilst holding it. It is glossy, although it makes it feel less cheap, subjected to fingerprint smudges, which isn't great. And to avoid accidental drops, the side frame is a matte finish. Ergonomically, on top of the phone you get a headphone jack, an upward firing speaker, a microphone and an IR blaster, which is useful in TV-like scenarios. The left side houses nothing, and that's because the SIM card slot has been moved to the bottom of the phone. Additionally, on the bottom, there's also a USB-C port, a secondary microphone and the main down firing speaker. And with how cleverly the speakers are positioned, the sound experience will be good. The right side houses a volume rockers and power button. This time, the power button doesn't double as a fingerprint scanner, which phones at this price constantly have. Instead, for this phone, Redmi chose to switch gears to an optical under-display fingerprint sensor, which works well, though it is slightly slower and less secure. That said, the design language is fantastic for such a plastic construction. Turning things around, we are greeted with an impressive display. It's a 1080p AMOLED panel with 120Hz refresh rate and 1800 nits of brightness, which is the brightest I've ever seen at such a budget price, period. You get punchy colors, a smooth scrolling experience which can be used under direct sunlight. But that's not the best bit. This phone is protected by Gorilla Glass 3, which can still offer a tiny bit of protection against accidental drops. Performance is an area which I feel is quite janky. This phone is powered by the Snapdragon 685, which though is an average performing chipset, is now behind as it is also the same chip which powered the Redmi Note 12 and shouldn't be much of an improvement to the power experience. There is also the Redmi Note 13, which is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 6080, but that is the 5G variant. Scores are similar with other phones of this price point, which is enough to play modern games at medium settings. App loading times are okay and multitasking isn't that bad because we're getting 128GB of storage and 6GB of RAM, which is still sufficient. But if you are not completely sold on that number, there's also the 256GB storage option with 8GB of RAM. Software is MIUI 14 slapped on Android 13 and is very intuitive as Redmi phones are, with access to customize almost everything. But I'm more concerned about the software support. This phone will probably get Android 14, which isn't encouraging as Samsung budget smartphones now provide 4 years of software support. So I think this isn't the best from Redmi. But the cameras is quite liberating. Unlike the 50MP camera on the Redmi Note 12, this phone comes with a 108MP snapper with an ultra-wide camera and a macro camera. The main camera is amazing in good lighting conditions with impeccable detail and color accuracy. If you want to shoot a 108MP shot, you have to navigate and pick the 108MP option, and though you need to keep your hands steady and cope with the 1 second of capture time, the end result is incredibly detailed. But the ultra-wide camera and the macro cameras aren't very good, and the video is still capped at 1080p for some reason. Why not 2K at least? So we're getting a 5000 mAh battery with 30W fast charging as well as IP54 splash proof rating, which can handle accidental splashes. Don't be tempted to take a dive with this phone. And now, the rather obvious question, should you buy the Redmi Note 13 4G? I can see that if you are looking for an affordable smartphone with amazing features, this phone does a lot to justify its price. But at the same time, I also want to let you know that if you are coming from the Redmi Note 12, you shouldn't bother upgrading. Anyway, let me know what you think about this phone in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching and subscribe for more videos. I'm Hilary, this is Harry21 and I will catch you in the next one.